So BD on as a special. We got Marco in the morning. He's coming out of K100 WKKO FM, but also going by Marco Nation over on YouTube. Marco's Motorcycle Nation. And then we got the China Doll joining us. It's going to be a different show than you guys are used to over on Sundays and stuff. We're going to have some fun today, play around. Hopefully BD's still a friend of mine by the time we're done with this show. And we're going to have a fun time. We're going to bring everybody on right now, and we'll introduce you around the show. There is Marco right there, baby, right there.
Oh, man. You're getting applause and everything.
You get that applause and everything, man. And then, of course, we got the pretty China Doll over there. What's up, China? And then we got Black Dragon from Black Dragon TV, the guy that every white boy is jealous of, even though I hear he got an anaconda down there like most black men. So it kind of makes me jealous. But maybe that's why white women like black men. What do you think?
I'm agreeing.
I think so, because they just slither and stuff. Do you like that shoulder?
It's our mind.
Yeah.
We have great personalities.
Well, we got Marco Nation right here. He's Marco Motorcycle Nation. He is going to be working with me. He's going to be doing some biker news and stuff. Go ahead, Marco, before we get onto this stuff. Who the hell are you, man? Besides, every time I was going to say Marco, you would say Polo.
Yeah, everyone does that, so that's fine. Everyone does it.
That means your joke wasn't new, is what that means.
It wouldn't be.
Go ahead, Marco.
No. Yeah, so my name is Marco. Obviously, I love motorcycles. Been riding since I was about 7 on dirt bikes, and love the Harleys. Love the camaraderie, the brotherhood, the motorcycles, everything about them. And of course, I do. I've been in radio since I was 16 years old. I'm on a country radio station in Toledo, Ohio, every single morning. And of course, my YouTube channel. We're changing. I've been doing a lot of regular stuff on my YouTube channel, but now it's mainly focused on motorcycle news and motorcycle stuff and biker stuff. So I'm super excited to try to join you and Black Dragon, man. I got a lot of work to do.
Oh, there you go, man. Hey, you know what, Black Dragon? You're gonna like him, man. You wear that shit kicking hat stuff, man. You wear that cowboy hat, and that's the kind of music he plays.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He looks all zoned out.
Are you high today, man, or what's going on with you?
Well, he didn't answer quick. That's a problem.
You know what? That's the same look, Marco, that, because his girl's from Chicago, and he was just telling me the other day that Tia won't bring him into Chicago because she's afraid he gets shot. You imagine bringing him into Chicago or even a bad neighborhood over in Toledo, Ohio, man?
I don't know if he had that cowboy hat on, it'd be confusing for everybody. They wouldn't know what to do. He'd have the hat on, but he'd be, looking gangster. So it'd be good. I'd like to see everybody's reaction, actually.
So Tia says that I'm too curious and shit. Hey, buddy, where'd you get that car?
Yeah.
I like it.
What do you think?
What
do you think of a black guy wearing a cowboy hat, China Doll?
Well, I've seen him in it. He kind of looks sexy. I hate to say it.
Oh,
wow! Look at that.
So don't let me hit you with the history, Hollywood. Cowboys were first black. The first cowboys were black. It's not uncommon in Oklahoma, where I come from, for there to be black cowboys. That's really.
I didn't know that.
There were only 15,000 cowboys ever that worked as cowboys in the early days, and it's kind of funny because there 5,000 were Native American and Hispanic, 5,000 were white boys, mostly out of the South. Disadvantaged from the war and stuff that didn't go well, and 5,000 were black.
Well, there's your history lesson for today.
The cowboy period only lasted about 25 years. Really, 15 years solid, but about 25 years max.
That's 30 seconds of my life I'll never get back. Hey, Marco, man, right before he came on, I said that, Black Dragon is a big CNN watcher.
Oh, my God. Really?
Oh, Jesus.
What? Why? What are you doing to yourself over there?
I watch them all.
Okay.
Not like Hollywood faux news dude here.
He is an anti-Trumper. Can you believe this? He's an anti-Trumper. He loves Biden. Biden ain't even, he can't even stay awake. Just like Trump said the other day, all he does is eat, sleep, and shit. And, here we got, Black Dragon over there liking on this guy.
Black Dragon, what is going on?
Publicly said what my things were. So how Hollywood gets all this, I don't know. But, I absolutely don't agree with everything Hollywood agrees with. It's this guy is the trumpeter.
Yeah, but I mean, we can agree that he's senile, right?
Hollywood?
No, well, he might be, but Joe Biden, come on, man. The guy is not all there.
Are any of them all there?
I mean, no, not a lot of politicians are anyway. So
I try to look past the. Did he claim that his son was some sort of fighter or something in the war or something? I think that was the latest one I heard. I try to look past it.
Yeah, well, his one son, he says, Bo is the one that died. I think he was in the military. Hunter, the only thing he's fighting is, probably herpes and shots of heroin. So,
I guess you guys are probably too young to remember Bill Clinton's brother.
What are you talking about, man? Oh, Wild Willie's. He's my hero. He's the first one to get his freaking knob bobbed on in the White House, man. That is a hero of mine right there in the Oval Office, man.
Hey, he did not have sexual relations with that woman. You know that.
That woman, Monica Lewinsky, yeah.
Depends what it is.
Huh? Where'd you get this microphone? What the hell?
Are you talking about me?
Yeah, it looks like a big.
Well, listen, I just said I've been on the radio since I was 16. I'm sort of a gearhead. People that know will know this microphone. Actually, the one you're using is the Shure SM7B, correct?
That is correct.
This is a Shure SM5B. This is the big brother to your little brother over there. This microphone came out in the late 60s, and they don't make it anymore. This is one of the last ones on planet Earth. So
I thought I was doing something with the Shure SM7B. This is the one they made Thriller with. I thought
that's a great microphone, but not as good as the 5B here.
Only you would bring up Michael Jackson. My goodness.
This guy.
As Michael Jackson would say, you got to be starting something, huh?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So we got some funny stuff today, and, Black Dragon, and we're going to get your opinion, Marco. We're going to play a little game here, and I hope to God that Tia's right next to you. This is going to be funny as hell.
I can actually call her up to the studio. Hold on.
I don't know.
Oh, yeah. This is going to be good.
I don't know if you want to.
Okay. China Doll, you have some questions for everybody here.
Of course. We got to go back to old school.
Yes, we do. What is your question for Marco?
Oh, boy. You going to start off with me?
Yeah, we got to. You know what? You're single, man. You're the one who's pumping the pecker every night.
Hey, not every night.
We're streaming to China Doll's sisters. What is the hell is that group is?
Sisters of Bikers.
Sisters of Bikers.
Sisterhood of Bikers.
You got
the way up to the studio.
Oh boy! Oh boy! How many biker girls do we have on this channel, China Doll?
On mine, 2,000.
Oh my God!
All women.
All women.
If I am still single after this episode, I'm going to give up life.
Well, you know what? Jamie over in that group is saying, "Love the shirt, Marco."
I'm so jealous of you.
Oh,
Look
yeah,
at you. You got your cool
Stop my
microphone and
phone.
your fucking on air sign.
I'll stomp you right. Yeah.
Look at that.
Listen, you know,
Where'd you get that on air sign?
a radio
Really?
station.
Fucking graphics.
Graphics, and I'm over here saying, "What the hell?" Leave it to BD. Go ahead with your question, China. Down to Marco.
Hey, Marco,
Yes.
did you ever fake it?
You know what's funny? I have faked it one time. I did. Yeah. It wasn't great. The situation is one of those things where you thought it was going to be great, but then it wasn't. And then it was like, F it, I just got to pretend. And I just put on my best acting job. It's hard to fake it when you're a guy because obviously usually there's physical evidence, but yeah,
Wow.
it wasn't good. It wasn't good.
It's like, God, you fake it.
Is that-
So did you like
back up a loogie? I don't know.
did you like take why would you just sit there and fake it with a bra?
Because I thought it was going to be good, and then it wasn't good for me. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, so,
What do
can't
you
count on this.
You expecting a boom bow wow type of broad, man? You got to start learning from me, dude. I believe in the two pump jump theory. Blow and I don't want to waste my energy. I don't want to sit there and have to please her the whole damn time.
But darling, people are more about, they don't want just two pump chumps, okay?
Yeah.
I'm
I'm Italian, man. We take our time. We're like Latin lovers. Come on, man. You can't be.
It don't matter.
Hey, wait a minute here. Italians are not Latin, okay? Italians believe in their own pleasure.
That's why right now I'm just saying Tia's the lucky one, okay?
Am I really on the show with two shock jocks? Is this what's going on?
Yes, you are.
Is this what the hell is going on?
Now you're just finally getting it 9 minutes into the segment. That's good.
People who watch CNN are slow. I gotta say, BD.
No.
This is why I said you might not want to.
Have you ever faked it with Tia?
No.
She's probably in the room.
Well, then the
No.
question is, has
Yeah,
Tia ever
but-
faked it with you?
Well, we have to wait till she gets up here. That could be yes 1,000 times yes, but I have faked it before in my life.
See, I'm not the
And-
only
and-
one.
and I'm ashamed to admit that as a man.
Why are you ashamed?
I'm ashamed. Men are not supposed to fake it, but I ran into some pretty raunchy stuff that wasn't right, and I needed to get the hell up out of there. So I had to fake a good time.
Well, then why?
Hold on a second. What do you mean you ran into some raunchy stuff? Hold on a second. We got to rewind. How did you not know getting up to the point where you were getting ready to do it that was happening?
Well, the girl was about 6'7".
Holy crap.
Okay. On Amazon. I like it.
She
All right.
weighed about a good 485 pounds or something. And-
Okay.
But she was cute in the face. I mean, cute.
And she had a good personality.
And she was holding it together well as I stared up at her.
Did
And
you
I
not do the finger test? What's wrong with you?
Well, I thought to myself, I said, Jay, you might be able to knock that on down. It's an experience. I'm a sailor and stuff. Let me see what's going on here. And she came down to visit me. I met her. I was a young biker on the biker set, and I met
How'd
her
you put her on the
biker set.
motorcycle?
No, she came down to see me. I met her up in Oakland, so she drove
okay.
all the way down to see me, and we got the hotel room and everything. And bro, I got up in there, and
Okay.
it's like
Let's
she was
fast
a
forward.
witch. She like hit the button, and the chains and stuff locked behind me. Toot, 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 toot. Whoa!
All right. So how did you? You're over. You know it's not going to happen. What did you say?
Oh,
how do you get out
no,
of it?
no, it happened.
Oh.
But she got kind of greedy on me. I wasn't expecting that. She pulled me all to her and stuff, and wouldn't let her brother go, and she was able to lock me down. And
Oh
I had
man,
to-
she took control.
and then it looked like she might whoop my ass. You mess with a girl bigger than you, might get your ass whooped. So I I had to go on ahead and go on.
Are you sure you checked between the legs? You know, does she have
Oh, she was a real woman. Too much woman for the J.
Hey, you know
Hey,
what they
she-
say? She ain't a lady. She ain't 280. Come on now.
Well,
The whips and
480.
chain, chaining them up.
So we handled our business as best we could, and so what happened was I departed of
he's all tongue tied?
manhood. I departed of manhood quicker than one would have expected.
Wow, so you're saying you're all that to say you're a 2-pump chump. You should have just started with that. That was the longest 2-pump chump story I've ever heard in my
I would
life.
prefer to say I departed of manhood quicker than expected. So
It sounds better.
here's where the faking it part came. So at this point, I have discharged. I'm done. She wasn't. She had this lock grip on her brother, and something said, "You might not get out of this alive if you don't go on." So I continued. And
Hey, China now.
Yeah.
You have to give us your fake orgasm, your sound. Let's hear how
Oh, shit. Damn it, I'm done. Thanks, Hollywood. Get out.
Get off.
Where'd you get that from?
That's all I can get out with is 2 pumps. That's it. I'm done. He's done. I'm not. I just move on. For
you're
2
talking
hours.
to a chick, Marco, that can use a vibrator for 2 hours.
Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
What do you just go back and check like every hour? Oh, you still okay, babe? I'll come back.
No, if the door's closed, he knows not to re-enter the room.
I do it so good that I make her use a toy afterwards.
No, you don't.
Okay, so hold on.
I'm so
In the
knocked up
2
on
hours,
this.
are we having multiple orgasms, or are you just working up to one?
Multiple. And
Okay.
I'm not gonna. And it gets very, very. I can drown myself.
She's a squirter, Marco.
We got a square.
She can squirt across the room.
Yes. And I got Magic Mike dancing on the TV while
Yeah, you got to tell them who the hell you think about when you're playing with your.
Channing Tatum and all the dance scenes. Come on now. What the hell's wrong with you?
Nice. Channing Tatum.
What, with his shirt off? Yeah.
Now
uh-huh.
that worries me there with Marco, man. He just said, "Yeah, Chad." I don't judge, man. I don't judge, but I'm just,
Hey. He's got great abs, man. You can't knock the guy.
Now I really am worried.
What? He's hot, dude. Get over it.
I mean,
What else you got for Marco here? Now that I'm going to look at him totally different, but
hey, I'm secure in my manhood. I could call another guy a good-looking guy. It doesn't bother me.
I'm so mad I don't.
All right. I have to ask this one because I already know the answer for Hollywood, and Hollywood would say yes. Have you ever farted during sex?
hey, Marco, I know you full of wind.
Man, I don't think so. I hold it, obviously, especially if you're with like a new partner, you're over there like the worst part is like after it's all done and you're laying in bed, you're like, oh my God, I gotta rip one. Then you gotta like make small excuses like, hey, let me go check out. I think I left the car lights on. Hang on a second. Then you get down, you gotta do all that business, but not during ever. No.
You know what sucks, BD, for China now? She was actually bobbing on the knob and stuff, and I let one loose right there.
That's
He
disgusting.
did. He did. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I don't know how you two are still together, but that's fantastic.
No, you love people for better or for worse. You're in it to win it. Yeah.
Have you ever fart during sex, man?
No.
Don't lie to me, man.
No.
Don't lie.
I cannot think of a time that I did that. Now I have made the orifice fart.
Oh, you've made her.
Yeah,
Well, stop blowing some chair there.
The act of going in and out of it has created that air pockets.
Air
as it were.
pocket.
Yeah, air pocket.
Oh yeah.
You know, Hollywood, when you're hitting it hard, bro. You know, I'm just saying.
Hollywood, no, he wouldn't.
Wouldn't know.
He wouldn't know. He ain't in there long enough.
My question, BD, as a black guy,
Oh, shit. There you go.
you know, I seen that movie Full Metal Jacket when, you know, they were in Vietnam and they were going up and trying to get that hooker and stuff. And, you know, it came around to the black guy. She said, Tubuku. Did you ever have somebody like that say that to you? Oh, Tubuku.
All over the South Pacific, bro. As I was a sailor sailing the 7 seas, that was an idiom. That was a stereotype that we brothers have had to deal with. He showed her that he was not Tubuku and was able to do what he needed to do.
Well, that's
sometimes
the question.
you show him and you're Tubuku, and sometimes you're not.
Are we wrong in assuming that black men are actually got a package down there, or is it?
Well,
You know, we're
I
being
mean,
fooled
you know,
here.
stereotypes are stereotypes. Some black men have packages, and some would be looking at John Holmes like, "What the hell happened with you?
I think that's what BD was talking about.
Where did
this
you
morning.
get your package from, Johnny? Y'all ain't supposed to have that." Hey, you know, it is what it is.
It is what it is. Huh?
It is what it is.
Do you think
I'm,
that's
I'm happy with what little bit God has given me.
Little
That's all
bit.
one can concentrate on.
And I think China Doll just said it right, little bit. But what do you think, Marco? You think this is actually the truth, or you know, it's just a made up thing that they go with? You know, kind of like CNN stuff they go with all the time.
I don't know. I mean, I think it leads me back to a famous saying, where there's smoke, there's fire. So I think there's enough evidence of people saying one thing that probably lead me to believe that's probably true.
What about you, China?
I personally can't answer that from personal experience, but I've heard that most black men are very well endowed.
You've heard.
I've heard.
You've heard.
I've heard.
Okay.
Mm.
Let's see here. LA says he's content. And how's everybody doing there in the chat room? What else you got for Marco? Start with Marco again. Then we're going to do some TikTok stuff, man. And then we're going to get on BD why he's such a CNN fan. He's a damn liberal. Go ahead. We got the liberal on the panel today.
Oh, God.
By the end of this show, they're going to be calling me racist because I'm picking on the
Black
the
Dragon?
liberal. Yeah. Go ahead.
Well, at least it's because he's a liberal and not any other reason, okay?
You know what, Black Dragon? I do have a question for you.
Oh, God, I don't want to hear
No,
Hollywood.
here we go.
Now, would you ever, and you know what? You can go to some of these porno freaking conventions and you just see this one, they're like bombastic, like, wow. And next thing you know, he turns out to be a dude. Would you do it?
Would I do what?
Would you do it? Trans.
Would I do
If
what?
A transgender.
Would you do a transgender? He hasn't answered so far.
Not knowingly. No. Not knowingly.
Knowingly. Would you
No.
be upset? You know, it kind of surprised me because you're in the Navy. But anyway,
Oh, a Navy jab.
Oh, wow.
Because there's a lot of semen. Come on.
Yeah, that's outro. Not intro.
so you agree you would do on, as long as you're pitching and not catching.
Well, no, that's not what I said. I said I would not knowingly participate with a transgender, which I just saw a whole not CNN, but one of those documentaries.
No, CNN, come on now.
No, it was the Women's Lifetime channel, even worse, about some guy who killed his wife to be with his girlfriend. They find out later that she had a sex change operation.
Did he know that before he killed his wife?
He did not know that, and the police were so happy to tell him. It was
Talk about a surprise ending.
It was no, Hollywood. Would you?
No, I check between the legs, man, because you never know these days. Never. But it sounds like, you're the liberal one that,
I'm not that liberal, my bro.
Now, China Doll, you're bisexual.
Yeah.
What do you think about some of them? You hung around them and stuff like that.
Yeah. I've been to some drag shows. Yeah.
Because I'm talking to a woman that can eat a freaking cooter pocket better than all three of us. But anyway,
a cooter pocket.
Yeah, that's what I call it.
Educated here all night long.
Cooter pocket.
My
You can
show
get.
will never be the same again.
You can get one on the Dollar General. What?
What do you consider a beautiful woman that you want to do?
She's actually in the chat. Sunshine.
Oh, Sunshine is hot.
She got some big boobas, and she got.
She's single?
No.
She's got some big boobies and a little waist and a big and I hate to say it, but BD, your wife's beautiful too.
Hey, BD, man, we got a chance to get them together.
He is gorgeous.
Yeah, we got a chance to get them together.
Tia is built like that right there.
Wow, she got tongue tied even. Look at that. Goodness.
Tia's gorgeous.
What about you, Marco? What would you do if you thought the whatever it is was so hot, so bombastic, and then it turns out that you went down, did your thing, and it turned out to be a dude? What would you think here?
I wouldn't. That wouldn't happen to me because I check. We check. We talk about it. I try to figure out before anything happens. So.
Ain't that pretty bad nowadays? You have to check to make sure what's up under there, under the hood.
It's never good.
It ain't. It never is.
10 years ago, you didn't have to. Now you do.
Yeah. What else you got over there for us? What else you got?
Oh, I got one that might get all y'all in trouble.
I'm always in the doghouse. I actually got a mansion outside in the doghouse that,
You do.
I do.
Do you ever have the urge to have sex with your ex?
Marco.
Oh, man. Yeah. All of them.
All of them.
Yeah. Yeah. I think about them, every once in a while. Yeah. You just be like riding the car and just think about, remember that one time? Man, that was good.
That one time. It was just that one time.
Yeah. Yeah. Every single one of them I've thought about before.
Do you agree, Marco, that you should lease it and not own it?
Well, I have been married and am divorced, had a long-term girlfriend and broken up. So I don't know. I mean, I don't think so. I think, for me personally, if it's really good and you connect and everything's cool, I don't have problems, getting married. Although losing half your shit is not fun. I've done that. That's another story. So, but you got to make sure it's the right thing. But I don't, if it's good, I'd like to have it. Who doesn't like to have the best thing always? So, of course, when you find something like your favorite motorcycle, you don't want to just give it away, do you? You want to keep it.
But he's over here saying, I just got divorced. I had to give over half. I bet he was wishing he was leasing that at the time.
It does. There are some scenarios where it would have been better for sure.
How about you, BD, man? You think it's better to lease or own?
Motorcycles?
No, a woman.
A woman only, BD. Only BD.
Motorcycles. He's married. He ain't going to go there.
You should lease the punta or own the punta. Okay? Give me the positives and negatives of that.
Well, since Tia just got here,
yeah, you better change that answer.
Beautiful baby girl.
Hey sis, how
Hey,
are you?
What's up, Tia?
That's that good
How are
woman right
you?
there.
Hi. So BD, now that you got the question,
no, I don't
Yeah.
have any questions. I don't know what you're talking about.
Repeat the question. Repeat the question so that everybody can hear it.
Oh, let me see. How's this going to work?
okay, BD, would you rather lease the cooter pocket or would you rather own the cooter pocket?
Yeah, you've come into a shock jock show. It's not Not anything
I
we've
love-
done before.
Watching a married man try to explain to his wife what exactly is happening is so awesome. See what had happened, babe. They didn't even have, this wasn't even labeled that. I didn't even know what the hell I was getting into.
Even Marco shocked right about now. He's probably saying, "Man, I hope my."
No, I when I was younger, I was in the leasing position, and I didn't mind leasing when I leased. It's
Look at her
Look at her. Look at the looks you're getting. I love it. Tia, you're awesome.
Oh,
BD ain't getting a knob job tonight.
hell no, nothing.
You going to bed? You going to bed angry?
my supporters have told me, "Damn it, Black Dragon, that's a trap. Don't answer." And, I listen to my supporters over here on my channel.
This is the one time where being single is awesome because I don't have to deal with any of that shit.
We got a lot of people over here going, BD is actually blushing.
We know who wears the pants. Is all. I
And
can
she
say.
just entered the building.
Oh boy!
Hey Tia, honey,
It's not the mic there.
hey Tia, BD was telling me this week that you were afraid to take him down to the hood, man. Take him down to Chicago, and I was like, Tia's right, man. You're gonna get shot. You're too stupid. Am I right or wrong, Tia?
He likes to ride and look at RVs and like, oh, that's the new model of such and such, such and such. Oh, let me look at that. And where I come from, you cannot do that. You know, when you ride slow through a neighborhood and they don't know who you are, they automatically go in attack mode. And the thing is to get before you get got. So it's very dangerous. I knew early on I wasn't going to be able to take, unless I take them to the suburbs. And that's where all my friends live now in Chicago. But I still have to go to the part that I was, that I grew up around to get the food
to get the good food.
When I go there, yeah. So.
Oh my goodness.
Generally speaking, when you're in the hood and you start asking questions about things, that's the precursor to robbing somebody. Hey, yeah, like give me all your stuff. I mean, that's how it happens right there. Boom, easy.
Yeah.
So that's Marco right there.
Okay.
He's
Hi.
Hi, Marco. Nice to meet
How you doing?
brother.
Big motorcycle
Nice to meet you.
guy, and also he's now got Marco in the Morning, his new show, and Hollywood is announcing the show. And he told me this was not an interview. This is going to be like his morning show. So normally he calls me on his big interviews. And this is
Okay.
not an interview. This is
fun.
Black Dragon off.
I didn't say I was gonna pull your pecker off, man. Come on, just because we're cool don't mean we're gonna be taking showers and stuff together. What's wrong with you?
There you go.
It's not looking over the urinal next to you, okay? I'm just saying, Hollywood won't.
Well,
But
you good.
Marco, he is from K100 out of Ohio, and he's getting going with his YouTube stuff. He's gonna be doing some biker news and all that good stuff. And we're just having fun today. And we have Dragon on as our guest appearance here, and he's kind of, you look how he's sitting in that chair. He's like going down and down
He's
and down and
sinking
down.
lower since the show started.
You ain't talking all that, you ain't talking all that crazy stuff that T is there now, are you?
Does she know about the Amazon?
Oh boy. This guy's going to be in the doghouse for a month. He's going to be under the desk in about 2 minutes. And he's done. He's out.
Dragon went dark.
Well, go ahead, Marco, man. I got to give you some of the show, man. Go for it.
Yeah, give Marco some of the show.
Oh, hey, well, I'm just enjoying my time here and learning all about my new friends. There's a lot to learn there for sure. What do you want to know about?
Okay, anyway, let's go to stuff there. Here I am thinking Marco's going to be able to hang with me and stuff like that, but I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, I wanted to put this TikTok up, and I want to get everybody's opinion, and we're going to go around the table here after it. These are some of the things that you do not say to a woman while talking about your house here. Okay, let's listen to this here. Let's listen.
But not your partner.
Let's play it anytime now.
Wow, the backyard is huge.
Okay, where the hell is it at?
It's
There it is.
I'm gonna have to hire someone to trim that.
I think I'm at that point in my life where I'd like to be in a smaller place.
Senor, is it okay if I start on the back now?
Wow, bet you could fit a lot of guys in this passageway. Raccoon must have crawled up there and died.
We can't hear you, Hollywood. Hollywood, your sound went out, bro.
Uh-oh. Did we lose him?
Hollywood, where's your sound? Come off mute.
Things you can say about your house, but not your partner.
Wow, the backyard is huge. I'm gonna have to hire someone to trim that.
I think I'm at that point in my life where I'd like to be in a smaller place.
It's so bad.
Does he have a technical difficulties there?
He told me StreamYard was airtight. Unmute yourself, Hollywood. Unmute thine self. Man, this is why I hate live, bro. Is your show going to be live, Marco?
No, can you still hear me?
Yeah, I still hear you.
No. He wanted us to take over. I guess we take over him and China Doll. I guess silent over there for the first time. That's the first time ever Hollywood's ever been silent. So I'm just enjoying it actually. See back? But some of this stuff I do is live. I still do stuff for my radio station on my YouTube channel. But for the Biker News, I'll be taping that. I've got a couple of really cool interviews lined up already. I'm a big chopper guy, so I have an interview set to go with the guy that built choppers right here in Toledo. So if you check out my YouTube channel, you can see all those right there. But it's going to be fun. So most of this stuff is not. But I mean, that's the thing about live, man. You just never know.
So are you going to have a YouTube channel with it as well?
Yeah, it's actually Marco's Motorcycle Nation. It's up right now. I changed it all up the last couple of days, so that's ready for the Biker News and all the motorcycle stuff and stuff like that. So I haven't seen you as a subscriber yet, though, so it's weird.
Now that I know that it's subscribe to yet another competitor in the business.
No, we're not competitors. We're brothers. Come on, man.
What about your journalistic integrity? We've had some issues with that here lately.
Yeah, I always will. You know what I'm not going to do is I'm not going to do like Fox News or like all the other ones where they're
What the hell?
All right, you guys here now?
Hey.
Yeah. So go on about your journalistic integrity. Tell me about that. As you were saying.
Go ahead, man.
Oh no, I was just yeah. So I mean, obviously, I'm not going to be. I don't like the way people comment on stuff, so I'm just going to be giving you the news. Obviously, I have viewpoints and stuff, but I'm not ever going to really interject personal. You know, I mean, I'll just do by whatever happened. Like if I have a personal story, but I like to just give the news and let people decide what they may. I'm not here to tell you what to believe or what not. So.
Well, damn, man, you guys stopped right there. We finally got everything.
We took over your show for a minute. It was cool.
Yeah, there was a wicked loop through StreamYard. Maybe it's because we're streaming to so many platforms and stuff like that. So who knows, man? Who knows?
Well,
So
we were doing fine. They just decided to get rid of you, but we were doing fine. I thought you told me StreamYard was nail proof.
well, you know, we're streaming to like 30 different places right now. So that loop on there. But anyway, what were you guys talking about, man? You talking about Marco doing his thing? What?
Yeah,
we're talking
show, and I wanted to. You know, you said this wasn't going to be an interview, but once you left, I could do my interview thing. So I just started interviewing about his show, what it was going to be like. Was he going to have journalistic integrity, as that has been an issue, but with some of the channels? And I just wanted to kind of get a feel for what we could expect at Marco Nation on YouTube. Are you going to have a podcast as well?
Yeah, I'm on a couple of different podcasts, but yeah, so I'm going to turn my I'll do a motorcycle podcast coming up as well. So, you know, I have a lot of stuff at the radio station that's a different beast. But as far as the motorcycle stuff, it'll be the biker news. It'll be some fun stuff. Like I said, I got interviews coming up. We've got we're going to be going to a couple of events this year. I'm going to do a lot of filming out and bringing it back so people can, if you can't go to some of these events, you'll be seeing all that. So it's going to be a little bit different than some of the other channels out there. It'll be more of an entertainment look, but also some straight news and some other stuff. So I'm excited about it. So if you want to, you know, be my subscriber, just go to Marco's Motorcycle Nation right now and hit subscribe.
I threw the link in the chat for you.
Oh, you're the best, China Dog. The best.
I love I'm so jealous of your fucking sound.
Well, you know, I'm on the radio, so I mean, that sound is important.
Man, it sounds so good.
And for only $199, I can come to Atlanta and I could set you up with the studio of a lifetime.
Well, since you're setting up my good buddy Hollywood studio, you were supposed to set mine up first. I'm not going to go there, but you're supposed to set my shit up first.
Well, now hopefully you guys are done holding hands and, you know, swapping. Kumbaya over here. Okay, what is it with you, BD, with this CNN stuff? Would you please tell me where the hell, why? Okay,
you know,
why?
You've already got people unsubscribing from me already. Black Dragon.
No,
man, I unsubscribed from you just now.
No.
I was like, come on, bro. No, get the hell
It
out
happens. So tell me about
it happens.
Why. And I know Marco.
I like to figure out what the news is on all of them, and you can't trust any of them. You know, I kind of like the foreign ones a little better, like the BBC and stuff like that. But I try to get news from I even, you know, watch your channel from time to time on some news that you might put out, and everybody tells me I'm effed up for that. But yeah, I try to get so I do watch CNN. I do, but I watch
both sides, right?
I watch faux news as well, and I watch those guys waffle over there. One day they're on Trump's side, the next day they're stabbing him in the back. I kind of wonder what that relationship is. Very interesting.
Or maybe they're just reporting the facts. I think we need to get back to people just reporting facts instead of saying something and then giving me a dissertation of what you think about it. That's the problem with the news right now, is they have all kinds of opinions on what they, instead of just saying, hey, here's what happened, and playing both sides. That's the problem that we have right now.
Don't you agree, BD? That's the problem in journalism?
Absolutely, that's the problem in journalism. I mean, you're talking about going back to Dan Rather's days, if you want some real news like that. But, you know, you remember it was one guy damn near alone that turned America against the Vietnam War. Do you remember who that was?
That was freaking Walter Cronkite, wasn't it?
Yeah, Walter Cronkite.
Nice. Hollywood. What?
Yes, sir.
Where'd you pull that out of your ass from?
I know my field, man. I know my field.
All right.
Marco, I'm looking for your channel. What is it again? Marco?
Marco's Motorcycle Nation. It should be a big banner with that and like my ugly face on it and then the logo. Yeah, I actually redesigned it last night. So you can't find it?
What are you thinking about being on the show so far there, Marco? A little different than what you're used to?
It is a little different. Like I said, I've been doing morning radio for 20 years. So, but I have been on a rock show before where we were able to, like, since 1999, radio has changed. Radio used to be fun and we could do all the stuff that we just did on the show, but that has stopped about 15 years ago. And they would have probably canceled us with the any sort of talk that we had with transgender. That would have been, we would have been off already and canceled. So it's nice to be able to just to say what you want. And you know what, if people like you, they like you. If they don't, they don't. I mean, that's really what it's all about, man. I mean, you know, so I love this format. I love being able to say whatever. And, you know, I don't want to get too, I don't know, sentimental, but I think I think talking points. I think whatever happened to one side saying one thing, the other side saying something, coming to an agreement, or maybe agreeing to disagree, and then you're still friends. That never happens anymore. It's like, I don't like you. I'm going to call your boss. I'm going to unsubscribe from your YouTube channel. It's like, hey, you know what? The guy's got a different opinion than I do. I still like Black Dragon. He's a good guy, even though he watches CNN.
What do you think about that, China? We can never talk anymore without anybody getting pissed off at each other.
About what?
About anything. We can't debate. We can't do any of that stuff without people trying to cancel.
Because everybody's too PC.
Do you think that's what it is, Dragon? Too PC?
Well, I don't even think it's too PC. I think it is that one side or the other controls the narrative. And if you are not on that narrative, you're out of here. So that's not even PC. That's unfair. Mike Ball was telling me about this guy who was the most researched guy on YouTube. This guy just got arrested in Romania or something. And,
you're talking about Andrew Tate.
That guy. Mm-hmm. So I never knew anything about him until Mike Ball talked to me about him today. When I looked up and I read what was going on with this guy, and you got a man who people don't like his opinion, and they'll put him in prison for it. they'll kill him for it. And so we got more going on than just I don't like you and you don't like me and we have different interpretations. What we got going on is you're going to toe the government line or whatever that government line is, or we're going to nullify you. We're going to do more than cancel you. We'll kill your ass. We will put you in prison. We'll do whatever it takes. So PC, we've gone beyond PC. It's you're a red pill guy or a blue pill guy, and it goes from there. Another term I learned from Mike Ball today: red pill and green pill people. I never, I'm too old for that. So I thought
blue pill.
Red, blue, blue. Thank you. So I thought that I was telling him something when I was going to try to teach him about Louis Farrakhan, and he says, "Oh yeah, well I got one for you," and I'd never heard of this guy, and the things he's going through. Yeah, we got real big issues, and it would be nice if we could get back to just telling the news, but we're too invested in trying to sway people to one side or the other.
Or have a healthy debate. Be able to debate why you think something and then hear other reasons, and maybe you don't agree with them, but you hear them. And at the end of the day, you say, you know what? I respect your opinion. I don't agree with you, but we're cool. Let's go have a beer. Let's go ride motorcycles. Let's still be human beings, but we're far away from that point right now. So it's pretty sad.
So all we do is
what BD about you can't say that the propaganda ain't hardcore over at CNN.
No, you can't.
Oh.
Has news really became propaganda now?
I think it always has been.
Yeah. I think so. And not to, what's funny is I'm on TikTok almost 24 hours a day. I mean, and I watch the whole TikTok hearings. And the reason why you're like a middle-aged guy is on TikTok is not to watch dancing videos. It's literally the only place I get my news anymore. When that train wreck happened in East Palestine, I had more facts and on the location and people telling me from TikTok than any news channel, any one of them. They all, like you said, Black Dragon, if it's not part of the agenda, the mainstream media is not covering it. And Americans aren't stupid. They're going to other places. And there are 150 million people on TikTok. That's half of the people in this country for 90 minutes a day. The best show on television is Yellowstone. There's 10 million people a week that watch that show. This is way bigger than that, and it's not just dancing videos and stuff. It's trying to get information and connecting.
And that's why they have to shut it down. They have to shut your freedom. I never thought I would lose freedom of speech to a Chinese company being regulated by the American government. This is absolutely crazy. TikTok is also making millionaires left and right. They're making these young kids where they don't have to go and report into a job and have somebody stand over the top of them and treat them like shit for $15 an hour. They can actually make that same garbage money messing around on TikTok. So they're not going to the jobs. So you can't get these kids in to work in your hamburger place where you drive up and treat them like shit because, hey, one of the number one businesses in America right now is social media, influencing. Now, TikTok is interesting because it took me 7 years to get one video to 1 million views on YouTube. And it's because YouTube charges you, Facebook charges you to talk to 1 million people. TikTok, I had 10 videos reach 1 million in the first 4 months that I had my show. So it's like they're letting people reach out and talk to the world. Whereas these other programs, you can pay me to talk to the world. And so now everybody's trying to be like TikTok. They got Reels, they got Shorts, they got all these things. But what they really need, they need the American government to shut it down. And all this bullshit about, the Chinese are going to run in and all the CNN propaganda about, the Chinese are going to take our data and do what? Do something different than Mark Zuckerberg has done?
Facebook and Instagram have been taking our data for 20 years. It's so crazy the way I don't know if you know this, but Mark Zuckerberg paid a PR firm $20 million to do a campaign against TikTok and to lobby them against the government because he couldn't beat them. TikTok is eating the lunch of Facebook, Meta, all of them, and now what's happening? He's paying people to get rid of them.
So you don't believe it being owned by the Chinese government?
No, that guy's from Singapore. The owner of TikTok is from Singapore. He's not from China, and their servers are in America.
Then why did they have different rules for America as far as having Americans running that part of the deal, and they have separate departments for everybody else, where the CCP is a dangerous thing right now. Come on, we have to admit that they steal all of our technological crap. We know that they steal even our motorcycle club patches themselves.
They didn't need TikTok.
And they're buying up our own farm. Oh, they only reached out with TikTok. But I do agree with what do you guys think about the censorship on all these platforms? Because TikTok, it sucks. You can't say a stupid word over there without getting a video taken down because you got a bunch of crybabies over there that report you all the time. What do you think about that, Marco?
Well, that's a great question. I mean, the thing is that TikTok isn't, I think of the four, TikTok is the least, they're all bad. TikTok is the least worst is what I said in my last video that I did on my channel. But, Facebook, they tune you out. They shadow ban you. YouTube does the same thing. If they don't like what you're saying, like Black Dragon was saying, the reason TikTok took off because it was the first time you could reach millions of people. Now they've changed that algorithm like 3 times. But the problem is we are able now to communicate. All of us, look at it all here having this conversation right now. Normally that wouldn't happen. And all of social media, this bill isn't actually just about TikTok. I don't know if you guys know that. This bill is about the government being able to say anything online and have to be able to come in with anything, any conversation on any social media and shut it down if they don't like what you're saying. That's really what this bill is. It's insane when you read it.
And it actually goes to a little further. If you guys watch the Twitter files or followed them, there was actual government interference in the 2020 election. Now, provable. I know a lot provable, yeah. And what did you think of the Twitter files, BD?
I think it's atrocious. When you see how these people say one thing on one hand and do something entirely different on another, I think it's absolutely atrocious. I think it's sickening to know that, oh, you're so mad at Donald Trump and you're taking him off TikTok or off of Twitter for the things he's saying, or this other kid, what's this guy's name? Say it again for me.
Andrew Tate.
Yeah, you're pulling that guy off because they're so dangerous, but yet you're in the background being paid to do this to these other folks. Like, where the hell is it? And then you're afraid of the Chinese? Come on, you're afraid of TikTok? TikTok isn't doing that kind of shit.
Yeah, like if I told you that there's a government in the world that's paying social media to put out propaganda, you would think Russia, you would think China, you'd think of 100 other countries, but this is a provable case of the United States government doing exactly that. And we all just sit around like, oh, who cares? It's insane.
It is insane.
I know you got upset, China, now with this TikTok thing.
Yeah.
Maybe because you up there acting stupid and stuff like that. And
I have fun. There's nothing wrong with having fun. I watch Black Dragon on TikTok all the time.
Well, it's funny that app has become, it's like Facebook where all the older crowd's at.
Mm-hmm.
And now they're fleeing over to TikTok. I bet these kids are pissed. They can't have nothing to them. So
yeah, they're like, no, every time we get something good, you guys take it.
Yeah, 7,000 subscribers in 4.5 months. That program is wild, and it has been an incredible way for me and 150 million other Americans to share ideas and discourse. And you're gonna just say, we can't even get. I mean, was there 150 million Americans that voted in the last election? I don't think so.
It was close. It would be close if it were. Yeah, we would never get half for the election. So
no.
So we can't even get 150 million Americans to vote for something in an election, but we got 150 million Americans on this platform, and you're just going to shut it down because you effing feel like it?
And not only that, we can't get Democrats and Republicans to agree on anything, yet unanimously they agree on this. So something's got to be up.
They agreed on silencing the voice of Americans.
Exactly.
That's what they agreed on. Nothing else.
Exactly.
What do you think, Marco, has some of that PC slid into the biker scene? Because the bikers that I knew when I came in are sure the hell ain't the same anymore.
Yeah, I really think it has. I mean, I've been around motorcycles my entire life. I've been in clubs, and it's funny because, obviously everyone starts with the millennials, but just think about old school biker stuff, and then these new kids coming on this. And there's nothing wrong with the new lifestyle, the new protocols. They just are different people. Like, you think that somebody that's coming out as a millennial now, or somebody in their 20s, is gonna even think about the way it was back in the day and carry on those traditions? They have obviously new traditions, and they have new ways of thinking. I mean, a lot of these kids, come on, these were the everyone wins trophy. These are the people that are, they just grew up different than all we did. I grew up in a much different time, and I think it is starting to get into MC culture. And I think that's why you start to see things that are happening around, at least in my opinion, these younger kids are coming out and they just do stuff a little bit differently than the way it was done before. And obviously, things change, and that's how things works, but it's not always great, in my opinion.
Well, another thing, BD, man, they get kind of culture shock. Well, say like when I come on air and say some of the stuff I did, that's normal to my generation, where these younger kids are like, what the hell just happened here?
Exactly.
We're raising a group of kids that it's hard to understand. You can't spank them. You can't give them corporal punishment. You can't flunk them. You can't not give them a trophy when their team loses. and then you expect them to make the kinds of decisions. And I remember the last time I got into it with one of these kids in my motorcycle club. He was 28 years old, 30, something like that. I said something to him, and he spun around and screamed, "My father doesn't even talk to me that way." And I must have said, well, maybe he should, because I damn sure. Next thing I know, my ass is up against the wall. This kid could not contain himself. He couldn't handle his emotion. He couldn't handle his anger. Next thing I know, I'm up against. I didn't know what the hell hit me. The kid grabbed a hold of me so fast, and I was thinking to myself, well, God dang, you can't chastise these kids. I wonder what they're going through in the military. Hey, do 10 push-ups. My father doesn't even tell me to do 10 push-ups.
Yeah, well, think about it. I mean, these kids have been raised.
Russians.
These kids have been raised with on not having any. Think about it. Their interaction is on a tablet, is on a phone. They have the human interaction of talking to somebody or paying for something. Or you're like, I've had kids like, oh, I don't want to go up to the counter and order fries. You go do it. That's like, you have to be able to communicate with people. That's the biggest thing. And so when my son I got a 3-year-old son, and he already knows the iPad better than I know the iPad. These kids are all coming up and they're losing the ability to be able to communicate, number one, which is what happened in you're there, and just not having the passion or the way we care about the MC and any other culture. Listen, these are the kids that are taking down statues in the South because they don't like what that stood for. They're erasing history. If you do something that they don't agree with, they cancel you immediately. And it's not their fault. This is for 20 years how they've been raised. So there's no other outcome other than the outcome that's right now that these kids are facing. I feel sorry for them.
Well, the 2 girls in the house. We'll go to China first. What do you think of today's man compared to, because you girls are older? What do you think of today's man, how they act compared to what it used to be?
The kids nowadays think everything's going to be handed to them on a silver platter, and they're not working for what they get.
But I'm talking about them as a man, how they act, how they carry themselves now.
Most of them carry themselves like a bunch of punks. They're not real men.
Would you agree with that, Tia?
Absolutely. I had this conversation earlier, and just piggyback on what she said. Society, we have pretty much just cut the balls off of a lot of our men. And
It's true.
it's really sad, because where are our cowboys? What are we raising? What do we have to look forward to? It's really sad.
These kids nowadays don't know how to be a man because their parents are too afraid to teach them how to be a man. I'm sorry, if it was up to me, I'd still be whooping all these kids. I don't care.
Yeah.
Half of them that come into my job, these kids can't even count change. They can't count money. You're going to school. What the hell are you learning? You too busy on your phone instead of getting an education?
Yeah.
These kids are ignorant, and these kids are going to be running this country.
It's scary.
No,
some of them already are.
I happen to know three.
What say you on that?
Well, Black Dragon was saying.
Yeah, go ahead, Black Dragon.
Black Dragon, go ahead.
I happen to know three fathers right now, 3 families right now that are going through 35, 30, 40, 45-year-old kids, sons living at home. And in these 3 families, the son has kicked the father's ass. And the mother has taken the side of the child. I've seen this in 3 families in the last 2.5 months. First of all, I've never seen so many grown-ass men living at home. And
they're not doing it because they need to for like medical reasons. They're just doing it because they can't survive on their own.
And I don't mind you living at home if you're taking care of your parents, if you're paying the lion's share of the bills, but you're living at home and you're not paying any bills, and then you're gonna tell your father what the hell he's gonna do at the house. And if he knocks your ass the hell out, in come the police to take him away. It's horrible.
And that's the thing nowadays. You go to whoop your kid, any adult goes to whoop their kid. The first thing the kid does, I'm going to call the cops on you.
Oh, absolutely. Or if you're in a store or, listen, I was a bad kid, but I got whipped all the time. I was at the mall the other day just doing some shopping, and I saw this guy whip his kid. I saw a lady run over some stranger and tell this guy that she's going to call the cops on him for whipping his own kid. It's just insane, the world we live in. And now we expect these kids coming up to adhere to the rules and the way we did it, and it's just not happening, and it's really bad. And I think it translates into everything you're seeing today. It's cancel culture is directly from that. If I don't like you, it's not we talk anymore and we disagree. It's I cut you off. I try to find where you work. I'm calling your boss. I want you fired. If you can be homeless later, it's like we're at this level where we just start at 100 now. It's the craziest thing in the entire world. And you sit back and you say to yourself, I can't believe the world I'm living in. I see that all the time, every day.
But how do we turn that, Marco? How do we turn that, BD? How do we turn it, girls? How do we turn this around where we're not going to destroy ourselves because our enemies already look at us like we're a bunch of weak people? And how do we do it, Marco?
Yeah, there are a few parents left that aren't following that whole trophy. Everybody wins. I'm one of them, trying to raise my son to know that hey, not everybody wins, and life sucks, and you're gonna have to work hard, and hopefully those people will come to save it. But Black Dragon, with your experience with those guys you were talking about, or the guy in your club, being a father figure to somebody, if their father figure was the kind of guy that was fine with them winning everything and living at home, you have a good chance to maybe talk to these guys and be like, hey, especially if you want to be in a motorcycle club or you want to be in this atmosphere, you're going to have to learn to be relearn to be a man. And that's where it starts, I think.
So I think motorcycle clubs, for one reason or another, might be the last bastion where manhood exists. Because
I agree.
We don't do a lot of that touchy-feely kind of stuff. And you throw an OG up against the wall, you're going to get your ass whooped by everybody in the chapter. So this is the way this works. We are a little bit different, but as a guy who grew a motorcycle club across the nation, I always knew I'd be dealing with this. And then in the African American community, I knew I would be dealing with guys that had records, guys that had been part of the system, guys that had been in and out of incarceration and all kinds of things like that. I knew I'd be dealing with guys that had issues with not having fathers and stuff like I did. So it is a cathartic kind of thing. And then when I became Black Dragon Biker TV, I always tell the story that the guys used to started calling me Uncle Phil. And I didn't like that particularly because of Uncle Phil in his real life. Uncle Phil wasn't like the most manly character in his real life. And so I was like, why the hell are you guys calling me Uncle Phil? And one of the kids told me, he said, we were raised by TV dads. And Uncle Phil was a strong TV dad. And when we call you Uncle Phil, we're not calling you fat boy or soft boy or something. We're calling you Uncle Phil because that guy showed up on television every day. He was looking great. He was incredible. He was well-spoken, and he kind of raised us. We're calling you that out of respect. And that was when I was able to accept it, because I remember the TV dads that raised me. And they were that, we didn't have any black ones back then. So there was Chuck Connor, not Chuck Connor, what was his name? The Rifleman. Remember that guy? And there was the Bonanza, the father there, and then there was the Brady Bunch's father, and all these guys were my TV dads. So I understood it. These kids are being raised by effing TV dads. And now today, every show wants to show some kind of alternative relationship, and it's almost like there's an agenda for that. And so where are these kids getting these masculine role models? Not from TV anymore. So when they come to the motorcycle clubs, we used to be like, boy, where the hell did you get all these ideas? This is You're not going to win if you don't have the fastest Harley and you don't know how to ride it. You're not going to win. We're not going to we're going to take your money and we're going to take your title too. And if you don't prospect, you don't get in. And so for a lot of these kids, it's the first damn real discipline they've ever had is when they try to join a motorcycle club. And that's why we see them jumping from club to club to club to club to club.
Well, that's very interesting. And going down that line of thought, I'll go with Marco first, then BD and Chai and the girls. Mo Gee put something really interesting in the chat room. And right now, we're hearing a lot about schools right now, what they're teaching in there, the whole 9 yards. And it makes it seem like everybody's a victim, if you would. And Mo Gee put, as a man of color, I'm no one's victim. I refuse to allow anyone or entity to prescribe my worth to me. I assess my own value, and with 2 jobs, anyone can succeed. It's where our folks started. And actually, I'll go to BD then, Marco, on this. How does it make you feel when you have these white limousine liberals on the coast trying to say, hey, you're being held down. There's no way you can make it because, the white supremacy out there is going to hold you back. And this is what's being taught to our kids in school in some places, CRT, whatever you want to call it. Doesn't that hurt our kids as far as trying to teach that they're victims instead of teaching them mathematics, science, everything that's going to get them going in life? We'll go around the table on that one.
BD, that's you.
BD, that's you.
Critical race theory hasn't been taught in any school in America, anywhere in the world. So that whole thing is bullshit. The whole argument is bullshit, and it's political, and it's designed to piss people off and absolutely take charge of what's being taught in schools, because white folks don't want it taught that they had slaves. That's just the bottom line. And somebody's come up with this, if you're teaching our kids that, then they'll hate themselves. If you're teaching somebody the truth and they don't, the truth hurts. But critical race theory ain't never been taught in a school nowhere. So that's a bunch of fucking bullshit. Just if you want to know.
Is that the CNN explanation or the true
real explanation, bro? Come on. That's the real explanation.
Go ahead. Marco, on that one.
Nothing to do with CNN. It's got everything to do with the truth.
No,
go ahead.
Go ahead, man. I was just going to say, Marco, your chance.
Oh, so, I have obviously a little bit different opinion, but I agree on some points. Critical race theory, it's the worst. It's just not great. But I also think there's a very high percentage of teachers also omitting history. And there's a great quote saying, obviously, those who forget their history are doomed to repeat it. So taking away these statues, not learning about the South and what happened and why it happened. And here's what I don't understand. Yeah. Is America perfect? It's not perfect. No, it's not even close. It's the best country in the whole entire world. Let me tell you something. We fought a civil war, which was terrible, but we've learned. Look how far we've come. We're having this conversation today. So that never would have happened. It doesn't happen in other countries. But you can't omit things from our history books. And it's, to try to teach these kids, only one way is a terrible thing to do to them. You should let them see all the things that actually happened. And maybe they would say, hey, you know what? We were down a little bit. We did some dumb stuff, but look now, we've come back and we fight back. And that's what America's all about. It's about being tough. It's about not exactly like he said in the chat room, not letting anybody tell you your worth. You make your own worth. You're your own person. You go out. If you don't like the system, guess what you can do in America? You can change it. You can affect change, but you can't do that saying that woe is me and I'll never do it and I can't get out of here because everyone's holding me down. And they're just being taught that at a young age. And it's almost teaching them to just give up, go right on and just be mediocre. Don't be great, because whatever you do, great comes with consequences.
What about them teaching BD the this is a subject that'll probably get everybody pissed off, but the transgender stuff to our kids. I remember, I don't know if you, because you're a little older than me, We waited to like third grade to learn what a birds and the bees was, and it wasn't all this sexual stuff being pushed at us as kids. And now it's just ludicrous about what they want to push towards kids. And Minnesota just passed a law that can take away a kid from their parents if they don't agree to give their kid transgender medical attention, meaning transform them kids. What do you think about that?
It's a hard one.
It's not hard. It's not hard. I think that sexualizing our children is absolutely abhorrent, and we have removed from them their childhood. Why is a third grader talking about? I didn't like girls as a third grader. I thought they were the worst things on earth. The Women Haters Club was real.
Yeah, it was.
Me and the bros. I was kind of like our gang, right? Like, what the hell is a third grader talking about relationships and the complexities thereof and all of that? That's not. When do our children get to be children? And why is there this push for a third grader to recognize that I'm born a little boy, but really I'm a little girl? Like, isn't there plenty of time for that? At 15 or 16 years old, does he have to get a sexual change operation at 6? we say by law that you're not even able to make a decision on who you want to have sex with until you're 17 18. Or something. So how are you able to make a decision on what sex you want to be at 4? Quit it. Stop it. Stop the madness.
What do you think, Tia?
It's so crazy how you can't even get a driver's license at a certain age. Why would you allow a child who's never been with the opposite sex to determine what they like sexually? I think some people would say, oh, I knew back when I was a kid I wasn't. Okay, it's one thing to do that, but to actually, when you start dealing with sexual organs, I feel like you're disrespecting God. And he is still the creator of all things. And right now, I feel like we're all out of order. And until we can get back in order, it's going to be crazy like this. You're going to have people making laws like this. And I've never depended on society to teach or the school system to really educate my children. I have always had a classroom at home where I would ask the kids how their day went, what did they learn, what was going on in school, what was, and we have open conversation. Our car rides consist of that. My classroom is at the kitchen table, in the car, and I'm always discussing things with my children. So I think that's one way we can kind of reel the structure back together, is just basically working on what's in front of us, starting from where we are with our families. I don't think we can save the world, but I think that we do have the power to educate our babies, and then hopefully it'll, go to other children.
Marco, because you got a baby right now that's getting in, how would you feel that?
I mean, just think about what you said. They passed a law where you're able to, without the parents' knowledge, take a child and do anything. And I read there were stories happening, especially during COVID, where they were allowing kids to go get the shot without telling their parents. I mean, it's insane. If I ever found out a school authorized something that is that big of a decision, whether you like it or not, or you did it or not, doesn't matter. But to have somebody else make that decision and cut the parents out, it's it's bizarre. We're living in bizarro world to think that there's actually laws now saying these kids can make these decisions. And you know what's actually one of the biggest populations right now is the population of kids that have gone through gender surgery, and they're all jacked up. I mean, I just saw like 2 interviews of people that at like 17, now they're like 17, they did it at 15, and their whole world is ruined, and it's like the worst thing that's ever happened to them. I mean, you can't even go to war in this country till you're 18. You can't drink until you're 21. You tell me you're going to make a definite decision about your sexual orientation when you're 6, 11? Come on, it's just common sense. It's so weird. Nobody's using it, so it's killing me.
Well, look at what yesterday there was a House resolution passed by all the Republicans and every Democrat abstained, where the resolution was parents have a right to know what's going on in their schools and know what's being taught. Why would every Democrat say, no, we don't believe in that? BD. And then we'll go to China.
Well, you know what? They say that stuff for political reasons. You got many folks that will believe in that, but oh God, if we say yes to that, then but you haven't given us this deal, so we're going to shut that down. And this happens. It's political, so it doesn't really matter what they believe in. It matters what they're trying to make happen. But what they did all come together and agree, and that's why no one can stand those fuckers on either side, because they're full of crap. Like who really would vote against knowing what's going on in your school? So if you voted against that, it was for some political reason, which isn't what is right or what you believe in. So you're a hypocritical piece of crap. But what they did come, or hypocritical piece of crap, but what they did come to an agreement on, all 100 of them, and however many are in Congress, what they have come to an agreement on is we should get rid of TikTok because we can't have the American people have the ability to say what they want to say, and let's blame it on the Chinese. So let's get rid of their ability to speak freely. But hey, let's all abstain from parents having the right to know what's going on in school. It's horse manure.
Well, BD has it right there on an issue like TikTok compared to what parents should be knowing about their kids and stuff. And by the way, I did get BD swearing, didn't I, guys? Anyway, what do you think, China, though?
Jesus, about which part? As far as kids are concerned, if they are under the age of 18 years of age, I don't think they have the brain knowledge or the brain power, because their brains are still developing, to choose whether or not, oh, I'm going to be a boy today, I'm going to be a girl today, I'm going to be a freaking cat. No, they don't have the brain power. Their brain is still developing. They should not have the choice to be able to make decision to decide this is what I want to be. Because guess what? When you become that adult, you're going to regret it.
Mm-hmm. And there's some out there already. There's a well-known one. And I have to look it up. We'll bring it up tomorrow on our show. That's real regretful of going through the surgery right now. And how does that affect them as a person now, because their mental health and all that stuff? And it's like, we got mental health problems as it is in this country. But going back to what Black Dragon said about TikTok, and I'd be interested in knowing from Marco this specific question, because you are in Celestial Radio. How are you able to maneuver through all the ifs, ands, what you should be doing, what you can't be doing? Because we're on a different platform here.
Right.
But you have a lot of rules that you have to abide by. And how is it you're able to make an entertaining show with all the restrictions that they place on you?
Oh, that's a great question, man. I mean, it's changed so much. I mean, I've been doing radio for a long time. I started when I was 16. I've always known I wanted to do radio, and in that amount of time, it's gone from kind of what we're doing right now, maybe obviously not with the cuss words and some other stuff, but nowadays when I pick content, it cannot be. I could never cover any of the things we just covered. You're going to half your audience right away, and then and the other half is going to want to cancel you, and it's disturbing. I mean, it it's night and day. So when I pick content now, it's got to be family friendly. It's got to be, unfortunately, I can't really speak my mind, the way I would love to speak my mind. I'm a very opinionated person, and some of my opinions are right, and I'm sure other people think some are wrong, and that's fine. I love that debate. Debating is what makes us human beings and makes us all better. But for content, you just have to be very careful what you say, and there are unwritten rules that you just can't get to, and we literally just did about 9 of them, so it's way better.
And do you feel like
right when you talk about halving your audience? Because I've already had folks on here tell me, just on my thing, you're a such and such, I'm unsubscribing from your channel right now. It is absolutely incredible to think that a person will watch you on MC Protocol or whatever, your doctor channel or whatever, and follow every word you say and believe in you. And then, because you had a political opinion different than theirs, we didn't used to do this in this country.
Yeah,
absolutely. Like, you can never talk to me about motorcycles again because you're a Republican or something like that. It's crazy what we've come to.
Don't you find people shallow?
I don't think it should matter whether you're a Democrat or a Republican when it comes to any of this, because you should be able to freely speak your opinion and speak, just because people aren't going to agree with you. But hey, tomorrow morning, BD, they'll be all over your channel. They'll be all over.
Some will, and some. I just think we've gotten to the point that, and it's the people that are running the country. It's the congressmen and senators that have made it okay to hate the other side.
What I mean. We start at 100 now. Remember, it used to be Black Dragon and Hollywood, and I know you guys have done this because we've been in the motorcycle industry a long time. How many times have you seen 2 guys start talking shit to each other, go outside, whoop up on each other? When it's done, you reach down, you pick the guy up, you slap him on the back, you go drink a beer. I've seen that probably 1,000 times. Now you see 2 guys go outside, especially if they're not the same. What's the first thing that happens? You pull a gun. Like right now, we're at 100. We just start at the gun. We don't do anything leading up to anything as far as conversation or communicating. We just start at 100. It's so insane. We're so far apart these days that you can't even have any conversations. So it's nice to be able to have a different platform. And I'm sorry you're losing subscribers, but I mean, it's just not cool.
We pick up as many as we gain every day, right? But the fact of the matter is that it does happen. You're right. We start at 100 and then we move to 150. We start with the gun. You're willing to kill somebody over what they believe.
Yeah.
Do you remember that during the 2023 riots, there were people running around the streets with machine guns? Like, what happened? You had the such and such group. We're the 3%ers. We're here to protect America. And like nothing happened to America. We didn't have one less car. We didn't eat one less drop of food. You didn't watch one less television show. You didn't have one less penny in the bank. All these people running around protecting America because that guy is un-American. And they're willing to kill each other about it. We're this close, man. We're probably this close to a civil war.
And do you think it's because, like you said, BD, that we're not smart enough to know that these elites are the puppeteers and we're the puppets, and people just can't think for themselves anymore?
They never could, brother. They never could. The King of War No Clothes happened centuries ago, but it was a true story. It might have been a fable, but we've seen it in so many different ways. But the King of War No Clothes was about people that were mentally warped by somebody walking around saying, I got clothes on with his fat, naked ass. It is the most, and the only thing that's saving us is social media platforms, right? Because that's
communication.
That's the place where we can actually communicate one-on-one and not have it. And we can't even, like it has been proven, and you're mad at the Chinese. It's been proven that Facebook would run stories and make the algorithm favor those stories because people would look at them more and watch and consume more ads. So if you had a lie out there and you keep promulgating it and promulgating it and promulgating it because it's making you money and not because it's true, and we're mad at TikTok, come on, man. Come on. All this stuff that's been promulgated out there, we're not able to talk to each other because we are sheep. It's always been that way. We're all led. It's always
the problem is here's what the elite or the cabal or the people in charge, whatever you want to call them, here's what they've done. They've given you, me, Hollywood, China doll, everyone watching this, they give you the illusion of choice. Think about it. Like Biden or Trump, that was the choices. Think about in terms of 300 million people, and that's what we had. That's what they wanted. So the illusion of choice is the worst possible thing. And as long as they keep us arguing and not wanting to be participating and mad at each other and black and white, big and tall, fat and stupid, all those little boxes they put us in, as long as we're doing that, you know what we're not doing is we're not looking at the people in charge saying, you know what? This is not cool, and nobody here likes it because the majority of Americans know something's jacked up right now. They do. The majority of people that I speak to know that shit is not right, and we're now starting to talk on TikTok, but on other social media platforms. And you know what the worst possible thing for those people is us to communicate and to say, hey, you know what? Black Dragon is a totally different background than I do. He's 180 degrees different from me, but I like that guy. He's got some good stuff to say, and we don't agree on anything, but I could get to know that guy and have a beer with that guy, and that's the most dangerous thing to the people in charge is that we do what exactly they're doing right now, which is communication.
And I think that's a big thing that the government does worried about is people that are empowered. Look at what they do to MCs because MCs don't like bowing down.
Number one, exactly. There, the MC culture. You're not telling me what to do, and but even when it started, way back, the whole thing coming back from the war and not being a part of what everybody else was doing, being that that 1%, if you will, that didn't agree with the government. It's funny. Because a 1%, if you really think about it, is, you could call them a lot today. You could call them a patriot. You could call them a conspiracy theorist. You could call a nationalist. But whatever it is, it's the person that's like, you know what? I'm not letting the government think for me. I'm thinking for myself. And all that stuff you just said, I might believe it or I might not. But I'm going to check it out. And I'm going to do some research. And I'm going to find out if it's true. That's what I do.
Aren't you scared, China Doll, raising our grandkids in this atmosphere now around this country, having our grandkids grow up in this
every day, because it's like this world is so gone to hell in a handbasket 20 times over just in the past couple years that I'm petrified to see what it's going to be like when they're older. I dread it. I know we were off topic again, but we're kind of everywhere right now. But like with our grandkids, they're all under the age of 10. And there's 5 of them. And that's like when we were talking about the sexual education in schools and whatnot. I don't want any of them teaching any of my grandkids anything about sex. That's for their mother and their father to talk about.
Right.
There's so much going on in these schools that shouldn't be going on in these schools. So many conversations being had with the kids that should not be going on. Leave it for their parents. Do like they did when I was in 5th and 6th grade. Separate the classrooms. Boys one room, girls the other room. Call it a day. Leave everything else for the parents to discuss.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is going way too far. And nobody's really, in my opinion, nobody's doing anything to stop it. Somebody needs to stop it.
Do you think we just get lazy, Marco, and want everybody else to do it for us?
Well, I don't know. I think that that might be some of it, but I think some of us too is being afraid to step out and say, hey, I don't like this because of the cancel culture, right? If you go out and go to the PTA meeting and you're the one parent that starts raising hell, other people look at you and they don't like, the normal person doesn't like somebody that's combative. They don't like to be to push out and get out of their comfort zone. Obviously not us. We all are sort of that personality, but so I think it's part of that. I think it's part of scared of being canceled. And I think some of it is, you know what, I can only save my own family. I can't, everybody else is doing everybody else. So I'll just kind of bring it within my own system and try to control it there, because it is just prevalent everywhere else.
BD, you got the Prepper channel. Do you think the atmosphere in this country is what leads a lot of the people into this prepper stuff right now? Do you think they're right in saying, hey, you can't trust this government?
Well, I don't think you ever could trust this government. And yeah, they're right. I mean, when you think about it, when we dropped the bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, they took ships of American troops and set them up to witness this thing, so that they could study the effects of nuclear fallout on them. What kind of garbage is that to do to your own troops? But they damn sure did it. So the government has never been trustworthy. The government wanted to know the effects of black male prowess, so they decided to use syphilis here in the South in what was become known as the Tuskegee experiments. And not one person was ever prosecuted for that. You never could trust the government. The government is untrustworthy. People get above the law. And so the idea of prepping has never been a bad idea. And you know, you can't trust the government. Remember what happened down in Hurricane Katrina? You know, the government was completely unprepared, and you had people sitting up on dikes dying from not being able to get diabetes medicine. Sitting up on dikes, the government. So you need to have that kind of stuff in preparation. Either one, because you can't trust the government. Two, because you can't trust Mother Nature. Three, you can't trust pestilence. So we saw what happened with the COVID in 2020 through 2023, and they say that's only the first. I mean, we haven't been hit with a real one like Ebola. If Ebola hit like COVID did, there'd be billions of people dead. So yeah, they're right to prep. Yeah, they're right to be prepared, either for sickness, pestilence, plagues, government, civil unrest, social unrest, or somebody kicking in the front door of your house because they want what you got more than you want it, or they think you want it. You need to be prepped up, suited up in your armor from God, and suited up in your armor from around from what you get out of the Cracker Jack box, and be ready to get on down with your bad self.
While I set up that question for Tia, I wanted to get I set her up on this one. Do you think, and I truly believe we are, do you think we're living in the times of Revelation?
Absolutely. Absolutely. It speaks of everything going on is in the Bible. You know, definitely. It's like he said, all you can do is really, you can't control what goes on in the world, the politicians. You can go vote, but ultimately you still don't have the power, I think. Basically, like you asked China Doll about your grandbabies, all you could do is continue to do what you're doing and educating them and just letting them know. I know what they talked about at school, but this is how it really is. Or, you know, I have these conversations with my children daily. And basically, I think that's one of the biggest things we can do to just create order. And just, you know, sometimes you just have to worry about yourself and yours, you and yours.
I think you also, as far as kids are concerned, you need to be able to have a kind of relationship with your kids that they can come to you with questions and not be afraid to ask.
Yep.
Thanks for that donation, Chase. What's your thoughts on that, Marco? Do you think that this has all been foreseen of what we're going through right now? You have Russia that just came out yesterday or today saying they're putting in tactical thermonuclear weapons in Belarus right now.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with everybody that just said everything that they said. I mean, we literally are, we're at the point now where this is the next logical step. I mean, we are at the farthest precipice, and the next thing is going to be, chaos. I mean, we're already seeing it around. So I definitely believe we're, I mean, if we're not living in the end times, we sure have to be close. Because I mean, if you've done any reading, you just know what to look for, and like what's what seems like it should be opposite is happening right now as we sit here. We just covered 10 different topics that all should tell you that the world is definitely not right, and we if we don't do something quick, who knows.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, that is, we've been going for about an hour and 40 minutes right now. It's been an awesome conversation. Had a lot of disagreements, had a lot of agreements, and a lot of fun. I'll be re-uploading this back up to the channel after I edit it and stuff after that messed up deal. But what do you think, Marco? How do you like an unrestrained type of program? And another thing, do you think the FCC actually has a purpose anymore with all the different technology and platforms for people to get their information? Do you think radio should still be under their thumb?
No, I do not think the FCC is anything. Nothing good comes from the FCC. So, and of course, like you just said, we have YouTube, TikTok. There's so many other avenues that you can podcast, that you can get your information, that you can say whatever you want. I think it's time for the FCC to try something else, because really, I mean, their big heyday was the Howard Stern stuff, and I think that people are smart enough now. I'm not going to go on the radio and say something that's going to get me fired. That is a worse thing than to get me fined by the FCC. So I have no idea what they even do there, because they haven't really been relevant in the last couple of years. But I love the fact that we're able to talk and have a great conversation, and I feel free to say whatever I want, which is probably not smart, but still good.
Yeah, I can see over there shrinking. Hopefully nobody sees you from work and stuff like that. But I don't think Black Dragon, I would make it 5 minutes on the radio. Do you?
I think you'd be fine. I think you would do what you had to do to keep your job, right? But the cool thing about no,
he has no filter.
Yeah, we'd have to hit the dump button a lot.
Yeah, I have one of those buttons on here. But I think that gosh, I mean, just look at it. When I first started writing books, you had to buy 500 copies and put it in your basement and hope to God you could sell it. There was not this thing where you could build up 200,000 subscribers across 5 or 6 different platforms. And now every time you put out something, you got your own audience of 200,000 people to buy it. Now you can print a book and it doesn't cost you one damn penny. You can print it on Amazon and you don't have to pay for it until somebody buys it. And Amazon will purchase it, buy it, ship it, and send you your half of the money. We now have the ability to talk to people like we have never had before. And that could be dangerous. And like that kid who's been arrested in Romania, it can be so dangerous that they put you in prison for no reason whatsoever. I've never seen anything like it before. Never.
Right.
We have a power that we've never had before. You think of Rodney King, not Rodney King, but George Floyd. That was something that never would have been ever covered by anyone. It never would have been covered. It never would have been important. None of that kind of stuff. But some kid took a video and put it on Facebook, and it changed an entire country. Like all those damn shows, cops, and all that stuff's gone because one person made a video and had the power to get it out. They don't need us having TikToks and stuff like that. They're going to find ways to get rid of it. You watch and see.
Rock on. Again, I'll be uploading this video back up the channels after I edit it and stuff over that screw up. But giving Marco the last word here, man. Again, get all these people over to your channel and stuff, and let them know what's up.
Well, thank you very much for having me. You guys are awesome. This conversation was great. China Doll, you're amazing. Black Dragon, thank you. Fantastic. So, yeah, it's Marco's Motorcycle Nation. I have a lot of motorcycle news on there. I'm doing some other videos and going to be putting some creative content online. If you'd hit subscribe and follow, that'd be great. And, of course, you can hear me on K100 radio station. You can download the app. There's an app. You can listen to our morning show. It doesn't get into stuff like this. Funny and entertaining. So
rock on, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow morning. I'll see you guys in the green room and stuff like that. Rock on, everybody. Thanks for listening to us and all that good jive. Let's see if it end the broadcast here. I'll let you know. We'll keep on talking as we go, because it's like